Hey guys, it's the Evan and Katelyn podcast, the show that's like the middle of a cinnamon roll, except we're that good through the whole thing and not just the middle part.
So it's like a giant middle part.
Like a giant middle part.
With the crust cut off.
Yeah.
Am I analyzing this too much? All right, so in today's podcast, we're going to talk about the algorithm, our thoughts around the algorithm.
Our theories.
Our theories.
I have theories.
I think one of my theories is how you are the algorithm. I think it's a cool catchphrase because...
Evan wants to title it, You Are the Algorithm. I don't know if I agree or not.
But it's cool, right? You are the algorithm.
Okay, what else are we talking about today?
We're also going to be playing a game kind of like the Newlywed game, but with better questions. Because
we need paper to write down our answers.
BRB.
Guys, you got one sheet.
And we're back. So smooth.
It's going smoothly. Yeah, so we're going to play a Newlyweds game or type game where we ask each other questions and then we'll write our answers on a piece of paper and then the other person will see if they get it right or not.
Yeah, and we'll see if we match up the same answer.
Yeah, that too, I guess.
All right, so for the algorithm, we have been analyzing it for a long time. And disclaimer here, we don't really have any insider information. We're just trying to pull all of our observations from our videos, insights that we've gotten from other creators, and some insights that we've gleaned by watching videos from YouTube or statements put out by YouTube. But I think that we have some theories that are interesting.
Some good theories.
And I want to discuss them between the two of us and with you guys to get your thoughts on them. So make sure to leave your own thoughts down in the comments below too.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with this?
Okay.
This is like juicy, I don't know. I feel like we're talking like conspiracy theories, but it's like realistic.
Yeah, realistic. But okay, so I want to start with the "you are the algorithm" theory, and I'm gonna have to explain that. Katelyn doesn't like that name, but I think it's great. All right, so okay. We have this theory that the audience are like teachers that are grading videos. Every video that they watch, each video that they pass by, each video that they only watch a little bit and exit out of, that's a data point that YouTube is taking in, and it's collecting all of that information. And it's also collecting, theoretically, information about what type of videos you watch, what type of person you might be, and then what it's doing is it's matching similar profiles to you and what they watch. So if you're a very similar type of person as person B, then they might show you some of the videos that person B watches because you're so similar. And same goes the other way. If you really like this one channel and you watch every single video and person B, who's very similar to you, doesn't watch that channel yet, it might recommend that channel to them.
You haven't talked about the grading.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of like, so if you watch a video all the way through, that's like maybe a B or something. If you watch it all the way through,
I think it's easier to describe
and comment, you get an A.
I think it's easier to describe it as a point system.
Oh, a point system. Okay, yeah.
If you are shown a video and you pass by it, that's like negative 20 points. If you're shown a video and you click on it, that's like 10 points. If you watch it, that's 20 points. If you like it, that's 30. If you comment, that's 40.
Yeah. If you share it, that's 100.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Whatever point value is assigned to each action. And so in that way, as you are engaging with videos on YouTube or deciding not to engage them or whatever the behavior is, you are kind of like scoring that video, and it's taking that data in addition to the other data that it has, and it's kind of making recommendations based around that.
Yeah.
That's our theory.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of makes sense in a way. And I think that, one really easy example to see it working is when we first publish a video, it goes out to our subscribers.
We'll hit
that later?
Well, no. I was going to say we don't know that it doesn't go to other people.
Oh.
We get data on how our subscribers react to it.
Yeah. But I think in general, and this is, I guess, another theory that we have, when you first publish a video, it goes out to your subscribers, and depending on how your subscribers interact with that video, it might push it out to a broader audience.
Yeah, that's another theory.
That's another
Does that one
theory.
have a cool name?
Subscriber gate.
Subscriber gate. Okay, so we have the algorithm.
And subscriber gate.
Subscriber gate. Yeah. Well, because it does tell you how it's performing specifically with your subscribers. And it also tells you how, later on, it'll tell you how it's performing with non-subscribers. So YouTube is dividing those two viewer groups, and our guess is they're calculating it somewhat differently too.
Yeah. And, I think the complicated thing about this whole system is, I don't know too much about machine learning, but that's what YouTube is doing.
But I think
CPG
even
Grey,
they don't know too much.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like CPG Grey did a really interesting video on machine learning and how, when you want a machine to learn something, you create a grader robot that grades performance of an algorithm. So you don't really know what the algorithm is doing. You have designed the robot that tests how well the algorithm is doing.
Does that
make
robot
sense?
then change the behavior of the algorithm?
Yeah. So it's like the algorithm keeps on evolving. It tries this, it tries this, it tries this. And there might be multiple versions of the algorithm running at the same time. And basically the grading algorithm looks at each of the different sorting algorithms, and it says, ooh, this one really is not doing well. It's like when this algorithm is running and suggesting videos to people, it's doing very poorly. Watch time is down with this algorithm, so it kills it off.
It's like an algorithm that's only based on thumbnails, and it's like, oh man, if this person sees a face in the thumbnail, they're really gonna click it, and then it shows a bunch of thumbnails with faces, and it's like, guess it didn't like those faces.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also, it's like, I think initially YouTube was saying, okay, watch time is the number one important thing.
It's changed though.
And it's changed. Yeah. So the grading system on so the algorithm is trying to do something. And for a while, I think that the grading algorithm was saying, okay, let's increase watch time. And the algorithm did that, but there's a lot of negative consequences to just increasing watch time,
An interesting thing, and I wonder if this is just algorithm learning or if this is YouTube purposefully doing something, even though it's potentially against what the algorithm should do, is there's a little while with the rise of daily vloggers and this and that, where you were rewarded for frequency. And now there's been so much creator burnout in the news and this and that. And a lot of it's because people feel the pressure to post so much. They
updated the algorithm so that daily content wasn't rewarded as much. And a lot of people are upset.
Well, is that a theory?
No, I think that they said that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because to me, it was a theory. I didn't know that they had confirmed.
I think that they confirmed it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's potentially punishing people, or maybe not punishing, but
It's
just
not punishing. It's not weighting it as much.
Not weighting. Well, I don't think it was a matter of if you post a bunch, you as a whole are weighted higher because of that. I think it was just it would show your subscribers new things, and if you post every single day, you always have a new thing that's newer than other stuff. I don't think it was just that it was rewarding you for posting a lot.
Yeah.
But now, let's say it's not based on new things. Not that I knew it was, but let's say it's based on something else, and then some of your videos aren't making it to your subscribers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because there's so much that goes into all of this. We see some larger content creators who have a bigger audience that they can poll. Sometimes ask, hey, have you seen my latest video? And sometimes almost 50% of people say no.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and maybe it was just too far down in the feed, or maybe, the last 3 videos that creator put out, those people didn't watch. And then to the 4th one they put out, it's farther down in the recommendations or whatever it is. It's interesting. But I think that when we were first starting out on YouTube, I think I kind of put more responsibility on YouTube itself, and they do have a lot of responsibility. But I think as we've been in this game for longer, I'm realizing that YouTube is almost like lose-lose in so many different ways, no matter how they change it. If they like incentivize one thing, they're going to be punishing another thing. You know, it's like just based on this system of rewards, there's always going to be, you know, because YouTube, there's infinite content basically.
Yeah.
And if you reward something, you're inherently almost punishing the opposite, you know? And the same thing with advertisers and content creators, you know, if they don't keep the advertisers happy, then a lot of people who rely on AdSense don't get the AdSense. And if they like, you know, filter things too much, then they're going to lose based on the general awareness of them and people's feelings towards them and everything like that. I think that YouTube's just in like an unenvious spot.
Oh yeah.
Because also
they can't win.
No, they can't win. And like they can't like spend the money needed to respond to every comment and respond to every creator, and it stinks because like in a way they've lowered the barrier to entry so much, which is great, but that means that so many people can create content and so many people are, and they just can't keep up with it.
Yeah, but I think that's why they did things like
robots. Yeah, so robots and algorithms and stuff like that. Well, that's not what I was going to say. I was
going to say that's why they did things like they changed the criteria for monetizing your channel, for example.
Yeah.
Because if you're not monetized, they don't really have to monitor you.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the amount of hours of monetized content uploaded.
Oh, it's still a ton. I'm just saying, I'm sure.
So much.
But if you.
Yeah, but I'm sure it did help.
Yeah, if you look at the people under that cutoff, there's potentially more people in that group than the people above the cutoff.
Yes.
You know? So I'm sure it still cut down a lot.
It cut down a lot
of their work. Another interesting thing, going back to what you're saying earlier, with how if they change one thing in the algorithm, it's even if it rewards one group, it's going to punish another group. Also, no matter what the thing that's being awarded is, as soon as people figure out, they're going to gain it.
Yes, that's such an interesting point. It's like they also like, you know, they keep the algorithm secret for a ton of reasons, I'm sure, but I'm sure one of the reasons is if the algorithm was public, people would play to that and like win.
Yeah. Well, and people already try. I mean, this is what we're doing right now is like talking about it, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. So one thing that was interesting, you know, switching off of YouTube for a while, but I'll bring it back around. Instagram. Remember when we first started doing Instagram and the algorithm for Instagram was understood and people were just like playing the game with like the like bots and the pods and everything? It was so easy to
Should we explain what pods are?
Yeah.
Okay, so Instagram pods are basically you can join a group of people. Sometimes it's like in a similar type of profile as you. So like a woodworking group or a crafting group or something. And you have times at certain times of the day where like, so like every hour on the hour or twice a day or whatever, you agree to post if you're going to post at one of the designated times and you put in your username and then everyone gets a message and everyone in the pod goes and likes everybody else's and you all post at the same time. And it's supposed to like give you that initial boost you need to go on the Discover page. And we tried it very briefly. And
it was stressful. It was like
stressful.
Horrible. I did not like it.
I don't think it made a difference. Yeah, it felt weird. Like we tried it briefly and then we stopped it briefly.
Yeah,
and we were like, this is so weird.
But like, I know it works. Like there are people.
We know people
like,
who've done it.
So many people. Yeah, and like we've seen the results of it, and like it is hackable in a way. And I know that Instagram really has cut down on that a ton.
Yeah,
they've been really like going after it.
Well, they've been going after things to the point where it's like, in some ways, difficult. Like, you know, an Instagram theory that we heard is if you don't reply to people within an hour, your reply isn't counted as engagement, which is so dumb because like,
so dumb.
We reply to everyone basically. I mean, we try our best. We reply.
It's getting to be a lot.
Yeah, it's getting to be a lot. We reply whether or not it's within an hour or after an hour. We're not going to like ignore people just because it's like, oh, it's been after an hour. But
unless it gets lost.
Sometimes but that's not us actively ignoring people. That's just because like Instagram's notification system is terrible.
It sucks so
it's
bad.
Terrible. Like when you're getting a decent amount of likes and it only shows so many notification items in your notification screen, the comments just get buried sometimes.
Yeah. So it's like
and you can't turn off likes.
You can't even look at the like like the heart tab or whatever. You have to go to the most recent thing and sort by new, and then like go there because it defaults to top, and I don't know how to turn it off. Oh,
me neither. Yeah, so it's really bad. But anyways,
but I guess like one reason why I brought up Instagram is because it's much easier to game Instagram in a way, because the content that does well on Instagram is a little bit easier to do than YouTube. You know, you can do like a quote thing, or you can like take stuff from another place, or, you know, you could just do pretty pictures of whatever. And that can do well if you play the game right. Katelyn's trying to get Moki up.
I'm trying to get Moki to come in my lap. Oh, come on. Good job.
Yes.
Good job. Okay, we got a little kitty guest.
Well, our second guest on the podcast is a return guest.
Yep.
But with Instagram, you know, you can kind of game the system easier and win. You don't even need to be like making your own content. You can like, you know, gather content from other places or whatever.
Well, and there's so many like Instagram accounts that are doing that. I'm sure it's companies behind them, but they just repost everybody's stuff. And when you go to the Discover page, most of what's on the Discover page is reposters.
Yeah. So I think that Instagram, they really needed to crack down on it because it is easier to like make content that you can game the system with. Mm-hmm. But with YouTube, it's really hard to make content to game the system with, because no matter what with YouTube, if you don't have good content, you just, I don't know.
Or like original. I mean, you can't just like, you
can't.
I'm sure people do, but you can't just like literally repost.
You can't literally repost. You can do commentary type stuff. And there are certain genres that are easier to make content in, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But with YouTuber, it's a little bit harder in a way to game the system, because you first have to have good content. But even when you have good content, that doesn't mean that you're going to be successful. You still need to, you know, reach the audience that you need to reach, and you need visibility and all of that other stuff.
Another theory that I have is, you know how, I mean, we've gotten a decent amount of people saying this, like, oh, weird, I thought I was subscribed to you guys. I'm not.
The unsubscribe bug, that's been like, people have been talking about that for the past,
it's not a new thing necessarily, but the unsubscribe bug. And
YouTube denies it.
Yeah, YouTube denies it. But yeah, we'll get people saying like, weird, I thought I was subscribed to you guys. Oh, I'll sub now. Or we've had people saying like, I know I was subscribed to you guys and now I'm unsubscribed. That's weird. And so I have a theory about why that happens.
Mandela effect.
No. That's a great theory. I love talking about those. Watch too much Shane Dawson. So my theory is that YouTube, you know, they'll go through rounds of like unsubscribing bots.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes where, so when we receive comments, some are automatically published, some are held for review if they have certain like flagged words in them, and then some are marked as potential spam by YouTube.
Yeah.
And sometimes it makes sense. It's like someone linking somewhere outside of YouTube will get marked as spam. Someone that, you know, just says like, love your video, check out my channel. Like there's certain kind of generic things that will get flagged as spam. But sometimes a comment will get flagged and I'm like, I have no idea why this is flagged as spam. Like this person's commented on our stuff before. Like this is a totally normal comment. Yeah. That's weird. And I'll approve it and whatever. But there was apparently something about those commenters that made YouTube think that they were bots or spammy or whatever. Oh. And so I think, you know, there's some sort of behavior that humans are doing that is making YouTube think they're robots. And I think those are the people that are getting unsubbed, maybe.
That's interesting. Because I know they go through like bot purges where they like
go
purge.
Through bot purges. Yeah. But I'm sure there's like bot deletions here and there too.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd be curious to see if someone who has experienced getting unsubbed from a creator has gotten unsubbed from multiple creators.
Oh.
You know?
Like all of them at once. No, they would have noticed.
Maybe not even
they
all
would
at
have
once.
noticed, right?
Not necessarily. Oh. I mean, you might notice a couple.
Oh, like some viewers, they've never been unsubscribed from someone. But if you haven't unsubscribed, maybe it's a common thing for that account to get unsubscribed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if we went to someone's channel who we were subscribed to and we were unsubscribed from them, and then we noticed it happened a couple more times, maybe that means like we were at a higher likelihood for being flagged.
I don't know. That's weird. Another thing that I want to talk about during this like algorithm talk is also I know it's like a very touchy subject, but the monetization and performance and the algorithm that ranks your videos. And I think that one thing that people are commonly upset by is YouTube says, okay, the performance of your video has nothing to do with its monetization status, right? But what links both of them down here is like the decision matrix that
is this going to make sense
videos.
if people aren't watching? Evan's doing a very elaborate Sharpie diagram.
Okay. So let's just say like you have two circles. You have your performance and you have your monetization status.
Okay, now it's a Venn diagram, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but they're completely separate.
Oh, okay.
That's what YouTube is saying. They're completely separate.
Okay.
This doesn't affect this. But below them in like the process chart, there's some computer-based judgment call that's made that says, okay, we're going to demonetize this and we're going to, limit its performance because it's like rated, for it has like adult content in it or whatever. Mm-hmm. So technically, monetization status and performance don't have anything to do with each other because they're both decisions spit out by this decision maker. But
things are affecting that decision maker that
yes
could have an effect on both of those items.
So technically, YouTube is saying the truth when they say monetization doesn't affect performance, but monetization status is a symptom of what your hidden scores are in terms of the performance.
That's like saying, okay, the fact that you have a stomach ache and you didn't run that race very well, they're not related at all. But both of them are linked to the fact that you ate pizza. Yeah. That pizza is like the determining thing.
Yeah.
Because you ate pizza, you have a stomach ache and you didn't run very well.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, you know? Yeah. And I'm not sure if that's true or not. That's just a theory that I have, and I have no evidence.
It's all theories.
I need to like play the Shane Dawson music in the background here, or something like that.
The conspiracy theories. Yeah, it is interesting to talk about, though. And this is the kind of stuff that, like, we get around other YouTubers, we talk about.
We talk about it a lot.
Because we're all nerdy and we all want to talk about it, because you can't talk about this stuff with people in your everyday life. But I don't know. I think it's interesting to, like, theorize.
I think another thing that we've been thinking of recently, because of kind of how we've been growing as a channel and, finding new video content types that we really enjoy, is how kind of some of the theory I talked about earlier, where when you first publish the video, we believe that your subscribers' reactions to your video, how they grade it in a way by their behavior or lack of behavior, determines what YouTube thinks about your video. Because like YouTube doesn't have the time or resources or anything to grade your video themselves, because it's a hard, complex thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard, complex thing. So they rely on your viewers to grade your video for them, and then based on that grade, they'll show it to, an audience or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that one consequence of that is it's really hard to change your content type.
Yeah. I mean, that's something we hear, all the other podcasts talk about, how they feel kind of trapped
in
doing what they're doing.
They feel trapped. But I think that like what's the bigger issue is when you have, let's say you have 100,000 subscribers, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a round number, and you want to grow that number bigger, and you make the content that your audience likes, then they grade it well, and they might push it out to a broader audience, but mainly the audience that is similar to them. Does that make sense? Kind of based on our, like, you are the algorithm mixed with subscriber gate, because, your subscriber gate are like the gatekeepers to the broader YouTube audience. But if your gatekeepers is a niche audience in a way, then they'll open up the gates to
other people
who are like them,
interested in that niche. Yeah.
So it's like, in a way,
it's
the subscriber gate opens the gates to exactly the people that they are, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you are a niche community, it's maybe hard to broaden out, unless that niche community is something that's widely applicable somehow past a certain point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if that niche community is like you play Fortnite, it's probably gonna be a lot of people.
Yeah, that's not really a niche.
Well, it's a niche. It's I would say playing.
Okay. What about this?
A specific game. That's a niche.
So what if you're niche content, but you're comedy? Then that comedy almost trumps the niche content for the broader audience. Like, let's say that you stitch. Let's say you crochet. Let's say you're a crochet channel and you go really big in like your crochet community, but in every video you're crocheting something hilarious, and like the whole video is comedic. Yeah. Then when your subscriber gate releases you to the broader audience, then the broader audience watches you and they're like, "Whoa, this is hilarious!" And then they'll grow and it'll spread and spread and spread and spread because like it's like the comedy aspect of it is enough to appeal to a huge, broad audience.
But only if you built your audience based on the comedy aspect. If you started out just doing crocheting tutorials and you build your audience and they're people who like to crochet and just want tutorials, and then you start cracking jokes and being funny, then a lot of those people may not respond well.
But like if from the beginning you're a hilarious crochet channel. Yeah.
But most people change.
Most people change, yeah.
Most people change to some degree. Everyone has like a bigger, smaller degree of change.
Yeah.
But when I was saying people feel trapped, I think that's why. Because, when they try to do something that's maybe a little bit out of their norm, it's not going to perform as well.
And it just stops. It often just like your performance, like with some of our videos, we release them and they grow and they grow and they grow. But sometimes we release them, they get whatever views they get, and they just stop. They just stop.
Yeah. But it's not just that; it's that their initial performance.
Yeah, their initial performance is low, and then they just stop.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying is like if you're trying to, if you're a woodworker and you're like, you know what, I'm going to try welding because I really want to learn how to weld. Mm-hmm. What's vibrating?
Sorry, someone was calling
your phone?
me.
Oh. So
don't you know we're recording a podcast? You probably don't, but
you
still.
So if you're a woodworking channel and you're like, you know what, I really want to try welding. I'm going to try welding. But all your audience, they're woodworkers and they're watching your video for woodworking tutorials and you do welding. They're like, I'm not going to watch this because I don't have a welder.
But I think that there's a high likelihood of people who like both watching in that community in a way. Potentially. I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm saying the specific situation where you are only doing woodworking.
Only doing woodworking. But also it's like if you're making the type of content that appeals to woodworkers and welders somehow, then you might be able to branch out. Kind of like, okay, let's bring up that crochet channel again. Let's say that like people who like crochet also like comedy. And half of your audience that watches your crochet videos also watch comedy videos. That might be a way to like branch out. That's not the best example.
I think that woodworking and welding is a better example.
Yeah.
Like not that people who crochet don't like comedy, but when I think of like comedy-based channels, I don't think someone who's watching
a high likelihood of crossover.
My mom watching crochet tutorials like may not have found Jenna Marbles if I didn't make her watch Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
Now she likes Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like the woodworking and metalworking, but still, I mean, we've heard, even with that specific example, people who have struggled bringing in a new type of making into their channel when it was previously one style of making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think specifically, just to give it an example that we feel, comfortable giving because we're like in it. For us, we grew up in the DIY and maker community, kind of our channel. And as we've kept on making videos, we just find making a certain type of video to be really fun. Kind of some of our more recent content, we've just been having so much fun making it, and
to categorize
it just makes us happy. And the recent type of videos are more. I don't know.
It's to categorize it, like the division between the stuff that wasn't as fun to make and edit and the stuff that is more fun to make and edit is kind of about our style of presenting it.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's less scripted and it's less about the steps and it's
more about the experience.
More about just like hanging out with us while we make stuff. Yeah. And like we still talk about what we're doing and there might be like tips or something if we're like, oh shoot, this works really well, or whatever. But it's not like a formal tutorial, whereas we used to be a lot more step by step.
Well, I think another part of it is we've gotten, it's hard to put this into words, but when you are teaching something, both of us like to be perfectionists in our ideal state, especially Katelyn.
Yes.
But like, if I'm supposed to be teaching somebody something, I'd like to know it.
Yeah.
And that would really limit us to a very limited number of videos.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like, we just finished recording a welding video, which is why I was thinking about welding earlier.
Yeah.
And it was our first one doing it by ourselves, and we are totally not professionals. And we hit a lot of snags that I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have, tried their hand at welding. I'm sure they can relate to it. But I wouldn't have felt comfortable being a teacher of welding in that circumstance. So we just would have not recorded the video.
And it also opens yourself up to, I don't know, I'm not sure what the best way to describe them are, but like people who
helpful
want
trolls.
to correct you. And like, there are a ton of people who leave really great comments and really helpful advice and really great feedback. But, once you leave the nicer maker community and you get to kind of some broader audience that don't know you and don't understand what you're trying to do, where you're trying to learn and show your process and stuff, you open yourself up to a whole slew of different types of comments,
I actually think that's like not only outside of the maker community. I think there's a lot of people in the maker community that,
True.
want to tell you how to do it their own way. And that's not really something we get a ton of on our channel anymore.
Yeah.
We used to.
Yeah. It's so true. Like, as we've shifted from like follow along with us along this journey, and hopefully we'll share some of the lessons we've learned along the way. When we move to that, instead of saying step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this, and that's honestly, that was stressful to like put out that type of content.
Because also, you don't want to do something wrong.
And we did once, and we took down that video.
Yeah, because it was something kind of dangerous.
It was something kind of dangerous, and that haunted us for a little bit.
So we took it down.
It's the
only video we've ever taken down.
And we don't want to be in that situation as much.
Yeah.
And
now it's like if we happen to do something unsafe, like sometimes we'll like forget to put on a respirator or something. We're like, oh, we're just gonna like sand the corner off of this resin.
And it's still,
and we should wear
it's still, and we appreciate the comments saying, hey, you should do that.
Yeah.
But it's not like
but
we're not doing it from a place of authority and teaching.
Exactly.
We're just people doing things.
I feel like there's less pressure because if you're saying like, here's all the things you need to do if you're doing a resin project, and then you don't wear a respirator, then someone could watch that and think, I don't need to wear a respirator. But if we're like, hey, we just started playing with resin and we're going to try 10 experiments, and give you like tips we've learned. Are you okay? Are you struggling with that jacket? Evan is really having a hard time here.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, I guess it's just like if people know you're not coming from a place of expertise, they'll seek out that expertise elsewhere on YouTube, and then there's less pressure on you to do everything perfect,
Oh, yes. There she is.
Oh, yes. Now you can see the supervisor. She's been here the whole time. Evan just tilted the camera down after struggling with his jacket for 5 minutes, for those of you who are just listening.
I figured as long as I was up, I'd give our guests some airtime.
This is the reward for people who watch the video. You get to barely see our cat because she's black and she blends in with my chair.
Sometimes you can see her eyes when she opens them for a moment.
Yeah, it all depends on if her eyes are open.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, I think that might be a pretty good place to wrap up our algorithm talk.
Yeah, we kind of strayed there at the end, but I think it was a good place to wrap it up. Should we play our game?
Yeah, let's play our game. Game time.
You okay?
Yeah, I got something in my eye. Then I was looking for my phone. It might have looked like I was having a seizure, but I wasn't.
It did. Okay. So we both have questions for each other.
Yeah.
So some questions are questions that we're both going to answer, and some questions are questions that we're going to ask the other person about ourselves. Okay. What's your first question?
Who is more competitive?
Here, don't listen, because you can tell. We're just writing names, so you can tell like how many letters are in it. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
I am. I didn't know you were going to say.
I was going to say.
Do you think I'm more competitive?
Do you want to argue over who's more competitive? Oh, no, Juby, don't leave. No.
Oh, supervisor left. We got a little too enthusiastic.
You might be a little bit more competitive.
So when you're thinking about me being competitive, are you thinking like when we play video games? Are you thinking like when we have discussions about things?
Life, just all of it. I love it.
I am totally more competitive though. Somebody asked us that recently, and I had to think about it. But
I think the part of it is I'm just very easygoing. I'll just let things slide and everything like that. But like Katelyn wants to get to an answer or something like that.
Or I want to express my opinion.
Every now and then in video games, I might get competitive, but it's only if I'm good at that video game.
Yeah, I feel like that is like the one exception. If you're good at a video game, you will get kind of competitive.
Yeah.
And if I'm not good, I won't be too competitive because I know I got no chance.
All right, your turn.
Okay. If you could wear one clothing item from the other person, sizing logistics aside, it would just magically be in your size. What would it be? We both write down our answers and we both guess the other person's answer. I thought that's what I understood. I thought we were both doing those types of questions, where we have different answers.
Maybe.
I have lots of nice clothing items. Why is it taking you so long?
Want me to go first?
As in, guess mine?
Yeah, no, so you guess what I wrote.
I don't know how I picked this question. I'm actually just curious. That's why I picked it, but I have no idea. My super fuzzy socks?
Nope. I put robe.
You have a robe. You have the same robe.
But you have a lighter robe. It looks pretty comfy.
My silky one?
Yeah, your silky one.
Oh, okay. I would not have guessed that.
It's pretty comfy. Okay. For an article of clothing of mine that you would like to wear, sweatpants.
No, I have sweatpants. I'm wearing them now.
Oh. What was it?
Cashmere sweater.
Oh, yeah, but you already wear that.
Yeah, but it's yours. That should have been a gimme.
All right. What is my favorite tool?
Calipers.
That would have been a good answer. Leatherman Micra.
Oh, man.
We don't even know each other.
Come on. Your calipers were your thing recently.
I know. They
You do love the calipers.
I do love the calipers.
I feel like you use the calipers more than you use the Leatherman. I would argue that.
Okay, you win.
Is my competitive showing? Okay. I'll ask you one that's just about me, since that was not just about you. Okay. You might know this. What did I want to be when I grew up?
Write it down.
The first thing I wanted to be. It's more of a situation than a job.
Yeah, I know. I know what it is.
Should I change my question?
No. Go ahead and write it down. I want to see if I get it exactly.
Okay.
For your job, when you grew up, you wanted to be a cat lady living with your mom.
Yes. I wanted to have 200 cats and live with my mom.
Yeah. How well do I know you?
Here, I was giving you clues because I was like, he's not going to get it. He's going to guess artist or something.
I knew.
And then the next one after that was I wanted to work at a vet that was only for cats.
Yeah. No dogs. Get out of here, dogs. Cats only.
Only cats only. Only cats. When you were younger, I know you wanted to be an inventor.
Yes, I wanted to be an inventor.
Did you have any
an engineer? No, I was just always inventor and engineer and just maker in general. So this has been my path.
Man, I have swerved a lot more than you. I mean, in the end, I live with you and I have one cat, which is also good.
Yes, very good. Except she doesn't love us.
Yeah, except she doesn't love us. She left as soon as we got a little loud.
All right. Who has worse handwriting?
Oh, man. This is close. Evan.
I do, but barely. Okay, let's see.
Can you tell by our cards?
It was funny. It's I always thought that I had really bad chicken scratch, and I met Katelyn, and I'm like, I found another one of me.
I know. Well,
we both chicken scratch.
Well, and because I could draw, people are always like, "Oh, Katelyn, can you write this card for my sister and do cool letters?" And I'm like, I can't do that.
No. But the funny thing is, you can draw pretty letters, but for you it's drawing.
Font.
Yeah, you draw a font. You don't That's not your natural handwriting.
No, it's terrible.
It's hilarious though, because
And I need, like, reference.
if you see her natural handwriting right next to like words that she wrote in a way that she meant to be pretty, they're completely different.
It's totally different. My handwriting is terrible, but yours is slightly worse.
Mine is bad.
I can make it legible
I
if I
can't.
need to. You literally can't.
I can if I write like a 3-year-old or like
So,
a
like,
5-year-old, very
super
purposefully.
slowly?
Yeah, super slowly and purposefully. Should have been a doctor. That's a bad joke.
Yeah. Okay. If we weren't doing YouTube stuff or our previous jobs that we actually had, what would you want to do for work? I'm going to guess that you would be an electronics product designer.
No, I put
What?
inventor, entrepreneur.
I said something that's not what you are. You're an entrepreneur right now.
I'll just do it in
You
a slightly
invent-
different field.
Okay, what do you think that I was pretty close though. Like product design, that's kind of close to inventor.
Webcomics.
Webcomics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally. I started a webcomic
You
in
did?
college.
Yeah.
I
That's
started
cool.
it like 3 different times with 3 different art styles, and then I didn't write anything past the first chapter, and I didn't know where to go with it, and I never posted it online. But I think that would be so cool.
That would be so cool.
We're
You'd
also-
be really good at it.
I mean, back when I wanted to do that, people weren't like. I knew like one webcomic artist that I think was doing it full time.
Wow.
You know, that was before Patreon and stuff.
Well, maybe one day when we're retiring, we can keep on doing this part-time and you can draw your comics part-time.
I mean, I would rather be doing what we're doing than comics. I just think it would have been a cool alternate path.
It would have been cool.
Yeah.
All right. So who carries this channel?
Who carries this channel? I mean, we both have really crucial roles.
All right. Ready? Caitlin.
I wrote the supervisor.
Because you didn't want to write your own name.
I didn't want to write my own. But no.
But like, okay. This is my logic. Without me, you would have a hard time making videos. But you could make quality videos. Without you, I wouldn't be able to make quality videos. No way.
I think
No way.
I think you could now. I think you could
Maybe.
make decent videos
Maybe.
now. Maybe not in the beginning.
Maybe. I just like wouldn't have like the motivation to do it to the quality that I'd like, and then I wouldn't be happy with it, so I probably wouldn't do it. It just takes like a lot of like focus and dedication, and
Yeah.
so much of it is in the editing, which you carry all of the load of,
But-
and like the story and the flow and everything.
Yeah.
My flow would be just all over the place. I could maybe make a certain type of YouTube video, but like I just don't think I would.
How do you think? Like, how would yours be less story based and more just like fast forwarding through stuff you're doing?
Mine would just be fast forwarding through stuff I'm doing, or I'd like take videos of the project as I did it, and then at the end I'd show what I made, and I'd walk you through how I did it.
Kind of like Mark Rober.
Kind of like Mark Rober or something like that, maybe. But the story wouldn't be nearly as good as Mark Rober, and the editing wouldn't be as good.
I think like if it was just me, the channel content would be slightly different.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I might be too intimidated to start on my own. And I think I probably would have leaned more into my expertise, which is slightly more on the like beginner DIY side.
Yeah.
You know, because I like did DIY stuff, but it would probably be kind of like limited tool type things. Also because like I wouldn't want to accumulate a bunch of tools because I don't like having lots
I'm like,
of things.
let's get more things. Let's try this.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I'm
do
the
we
one that-
really need it?
I'm the one that like starts all this crap, and then Caitlin's the one that finishes it nicely.
That's kind of true.
It's kind of true. It's kind of true.
Yeah, so
I get us into situations, and Caitlin turns it into something nice.
We both might be doing videos. You would probably be doing the same type of projects, but the editing would be totally different.
Totally
And
different.
I would be doing similar editing, but it'd probably be a mix of like DIY/craftier stuff and like my boyfriend does my makeup. Just 'cause I love those videos.
You love those videos. Okay.
What's my favorite material that we've worked with?
Resin.
Yes. I thought you might guess like welding, like metal,
Welding,
because we
yeah.
just did it. But no, it's resin.
It's resin. Resin's great. We're going to do
Resin's
more.
awesome.
We have more resin projects in the works.
We do.
Not
And
in
I'm
the
excited.
works,
It's been
but
too long.
it's been too long.
Well, they're planned.
Yeah, they're planned.
Yeah. We just need to get to them.
Need to get to them. Okay, next question. What's the thing we're most likely to go viral for?
Like an existing video?
Oh, no. Like what's like something that we're going to do in the future that we're going to go viral for?
So like a
It
project.
doesn't even have to be YouTube videos. It's just like, what in life are we going to go viral for?
What? Man.
We have so many plans. Maybe I shouldn't have asked this question.
Maybe I shouldn't.
It's too much.
I can't like say one of the ones that we actually have planned because
No, don't.
then it doesn't.
No, don't say anything we actually have planned.
Okay, so this is like an imaginary.
Yeah, imaginary.
One. This is something we've talked about theoretically, but we don't actually have it planned.
All right. So I think that we might follow Jimmy DiResta by going viral with a weapon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, no, I was supposed to guess.
Oh. No, we were both supposed to hold our things up and see if they're different.
Yeah, I was supposed to like.
Oh.
That only works when it's like the only answers are Evan or Katelyn.
Oh, okay. All right. So.
Do you want to guess mine?
Something cat related.
No.
What's that? What's the answer?
A barn to workshop conversion.
Ooh, that would be a good one video.
Could go viral. Yeah. Which we've talked about because like we eventually will need a larger workshop, and we thought like, oh, if we move like a little bit farther from the city and we get some land and maybe there's an existing barn on it, and then maybe that barn is structurally sound enough to turn into a workshop. It'd be really cool.
That'd be really cool. All right, next question.
Okay, you ready? The next one's like a challenge one. This is a question for you to answer about me.
Ah.
It's kind of related to one of the videos that I said I would do if I just left my own devices. List the makeup items I use to get ready for filming.
Okay.
And this is like not on the lazy days.
All right. So,
Okay.
first off, you do your fancy sunscreen.
Oh yeah, that's bonus points. I didn't write that down because it's not really makeup. But yeah,
Bonus
I do
points.
sunscreen.
All right. Now, over that, you do sometimes like spot touch-ups with a thing.
Yeah, not really anymore.
Okay.
That was a long time ago when I was having like skin troubles.
Sorry to bring that up. But that would be the order.
Yeah, that would be the order. Okay.
Okay. Then you do like a blush.
That is an item. It's not the order. But you don't have to get the order right. But
You also do a powder.
yeah, I do a
base?
clear powder.
Okay, so you do a clear powder base. I already mentioned the blush.
Yeah,
And then you do eyeshadow,
that is another item.
which always confused me, people, because your shadow is beneath your eye. But
No,
eyeshadow
there's a
goes.
shadow above.
I know,
in the
but
crease.
like if you think about a shadow, the sun is usually above you. A shadow should be underneath the eyes.
So should that be called a brow shadow because it's underneath your brows?
Yeah, brow shadow. That's what it should be called, people. The startachange.org petition. So there's brow shadow, so it makes sense.
Let's
okay.
invent it, make a YouTube video on it, and then that'll be what goes viral.
Yes.
Brow shadow.
Brow shadow. Okay. And then you do eyeliner. Mm-hmm. And you do mascara. Mm-hmm. That's it, right? Because you're looking at me like there's still more. So I'll keep on going. You
The next there's
you do the torture device in your eyes.
yeah, this isn't really makeup.
Curving,
That's
yeah.
eyelash curler. There are 3 more, and they're all advanced.
Oh,
I would say
dang.
advanced as in not like they're hard. Oh no, there's 4 more. There's 4 more.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even know you. Okay. I know one.
This makes it sound like I wear a lot of makeup.
You seal in your makeup with the spray?
No. I
Not
don't.
anymore?
No. That was only if I was going to get really sweaty.
Oh,
Which
you
we
don't
do
know-
get sweaty, yeah. Well, I've given up now. It just is going to melt.
Give me a hint. What part of your face does it go on?
There are 2 other things that are related to blush. I'm not wearing them now. Right now, I'm only wearing blush and one of the things that you forgot.
Oh, eyebrow pencil?
Yeah, brow
Yeah.
is not pencil, but yeah. 3 more. One, I'll scratch one off the list.
Okay. Lips.
No,
Oh.
that's not makeup. I just put it with like chapstick. One of them I'll scratch off. You just guess 2. They're both related to my cheeks, and they're not blush.
Blush 2 and blush 3.
Yeah, you got it.
Powder 2 and powder 3. They're both powders that you put on your face. I just don't know their names. What are they called?
Okay, contour and highlight.
Oh, yeah, like on all the channels.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, like on the booty gurus.
On the booty gurus. But like, it's just like the same face powder, but different colors.
Yeah, basically.
So I pretty much got it.
you pretty much got. You do pretty good. Yeah.
I give myself an A.
It's a lot of. As I was writing this, I was like, consider myself someone that doesn't wear a ton of makeup. But it's like a lot of separate items. I just don't wear foundation, so I don't feel like I wear a lot of makeup because there's like nothing on the base. I just like the clear powder is only because I wear sunscreen, and otherwise everything melts off. So I have to do like a clear powder.
Yeah.
And then all the other things are basically so like my face shows up on camera because I'm so pale.
That's because of that. You're keeping your skin
My skin
young. With your sunscreen.
With my sunscreen? Yeah. You did pretty good.
I did pretty good.
Okay.
It's like I could do your makeup.
My boyfriend does my makeup.
What would I want to do if we won the lottery?
The same thing, but with less time pressure.
Big house, big workshop, more videos.
More
same
videos?
Thing. No, continuing to make more videos.
More videos.
Same thing, but just bigger place.
Yeah, like afford a bigger place. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The same thing, basically.
Yeah, I just said like without the time pressure, because the time pressure is because like we need to make it a business.
yeah, there's definitely that. Nice.
We did okay.
We know each other pretty well.
Decently well.
Who are you?
Considering we've known each other for like how many years? Like 13 years? 12 years.
Coming up on 5 years of marriage, and we've known each other since we're 18.
Don't give away our age.
And there's some math here. All right. Well, hey, that was a fun episode. Thank you guys.
We're not done yet.
We're not done? Oh, the thing of
the week.
Yeah. Okay. My thing of the week is something that we use in probably half of our videos.
At least.
And it's the Rockler Silicone Project Mat. This isn't sponsored by them, but we just always keep our work table covered with it. They recently came out with an XL version, which is really cool.
It's so good. They interlock, so your entire workbench can be matte.
We do woodworking on it when we are finishing our pieces. We do resin. On it. We do like everything.
We've done art on it. Yeah.
It's great.
So good.
It's just an essential for your workshop.
That is a really good one. It's very versatile.
All right. What's your thing of the week?
Mine's also like a not sponsored, but tool from a brand. Well, not really. Well, I guess it's a tool. Is our Lincoln Welder, which we just got to play with.
Yeah.
And like we're still learning it, but welding is so fun.
It's so fun. And the footage you get after it is
everything looks cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so the next video we release after you guys listen to this is going to be a welding video. So make sure to
kind of
watch
like
that.
Spoiled that surprise because I mentioned it earlier on this podcast.
Well,
but only the podcast people know.
Yeah.
Until we start posting about it on Instagram. Still, you guys know first.
Yeah. But that's a good thing. That's definitely a thing of the week.
Fun.
It's so fun.
Well, it's also like
and like we've leveled up our skill. Like after welding like an entire project, I feel like way more confident.
Well, it's
with
like
welding.
the difference between like, if you're driving somewhere and somebody's telling you all the directions and you're like, well, I got there. And then you try to drive it yourself and you're like, I don't know where I'm going. It was like that, except now that we've figured out how to get there by ourselves, I feel like we know it a lot better than we did before when someone was telling us directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast this week. Thank you guys for all of the ratings, the shares, the subscribes, all of the engagement that you do. Remember, you are the algorithm. You guys are helping us. You guys are helping us grow and succeed and do more and do bigger things. So we're really excited to keep on doing what we're doing and just keep on growing with you guys.
Also, if you guys have stuff that you want us to talk about, we recently started a community post thread on the podcast YouTube channel. So you can let us know there, or you can just let us know on the video of this episode or any episode. But, we'll see it most if it's this episode or the community post channel.
Yeah, but I think the community post is great because it's a central place where people can put ideas and vote on what ideas they want.
Oh, I'm so sure people... I got words. I'm sure there's some people who are like, what's the community tab?
Yeah, that's true.
It seems like a lot of people don't know what it is.
We see everything.
Yeah. But yeah, just let us know if you guys have specific topics or anything like that you want to hear.
And we'll see you later. Bye.
Booping.
And booping the boop. Then you do the boopity boop. What if someone booped their poop?
What would that... Can you describe what that would be? Oh, booped their poop. Okay, I didn't know what you were saying. Like head... I don't think that's more like headbutting their poop. I think it would be like boop, but not on the nose, on the poop.
What's this podcast about again?